We're live.
All right. Well, welcome back to another episode of the Reality Right After. Woo! Listen, make sure that you hit that subscribe button if you want to show up. If you want us to show up on your YouTube feed live each and every Wednesday around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Listen, we love you guys. We want you guys to be here with us. I'm Kay King. I am a reality rundown consultant, correspondent, and I'm here with my amazing co-host.
It's your girl, Ricky B, also known as Ricky B on all social media platforms. Chase,
Honey.
Well, listen, darling. I was going to let the ladies go first, but
Oh,
if you
yes.
could see me, honey, I'm giving all the lady realness. So I might as well just go ahead and go. I am Chase. Follow me at Urban B Music, and I'm ready to get into some things.
And I'm Kadian. Follow me on all social media platforms at Kadian_. Now let's get into the show.
Let's get into it, honey, and let's get right off with our reality right after recap. Oh, there's so many R's, honey. R, honey. And let's start off with the R Housewives of New Jersey. And so one of the most pivotal scenes that everybody is talking about is, of course, Marge. Ugh, I hate to say, I just don't even like her, honey. Marge versus Louis and Teresa. And I think that we may have a clip of that. Am I correct? Is my spidey senses tingling? Well, listen, if my spidey senses aren't tingling, maybe that was my bitchy senses tingling because I am never going to be here for Marge. There's nothing that she can do on any day of the week that is going to make me side with her. We have been, 5 episodes now in, ladies, and every scene that Marge has had has been about Teresa and Louis. And, honey, what is going on in your life? Do you have anything going on? Is there a storyline for you? Oh, or is Teresa and Louis your bread and butter this season? What do you guys think about that whole fight? And, Margaret just being all out of pocket and being everybody else's business and not having none of her own.
what do you think?
Oh, go ahead, Ricky.
No, I said, what do you think, Kay? I was tossing it to you, Chase.
Oh, okay. Personally, listen, one thing I can say about Jersey, and the reason why I do like Jersey is because I like all the girls, right? Like, I don't have like a fave or anything like that when it comes to Jersey. Like, I like them all. I feel like it's a great cast. And I feel like it's always like one that's going to be stirring up the trouble. And I feel like that's Marge this season. Like, and I'm not going to get mad at her because I feel like they have that one person on every show, right? And so I'm not gonna get mad because she's showing up and doing her job. Like, yeah, we didn't have a problem with Lisa doing it on Salt Lake City, so I can't have a problem with Marge doing it. I listen, if it's out there, people gonna talk about it. You might as well, you know what I mean, say what you gotta say, which is what, eventually Louis did after him and Teresa went back and forth about whether he should say something or whether he shouldn't. I'm actually glad that, he told a lie, but hey, he said something about it. But he said something about it. I mean, listen, and I feel like it should be over. Like, let's not drag it no more. Like, that's enough of that. That's just how I feel.
Right. I'm going to agree with Kay. There has to be someone on the show to drag these storylines and bring things up. And who better to do it than Marge? I've actually met her. And when I met her, she was spilling some tea too. So I feel like that is just who she is. And she's just going to keep the show going. However, you must know when to stop and move on to the next best thing. Because at this point, you're not going to get anything out of Louis. You're not going to get anything out of Teresa aside from her popping off. And I feel like that's what's going to happen next if Marge don't calm down.
Yeah, although I agree with you guys, I think Teresa's a little bit of a hypocrite. Like, if you're on the show and this is a big thing and it's going to come out, why not get ahead of it? Why not be like, what, this happened and I've done A, B, and C to do, it's like, get in front of it, talk about it so you can move on quickly. I think when you try to maneuver and scapegoat and get angry, it only perpetuates the issue. And similar, I hate to relate it to Real Housewives, similar to the Bolo situation, to Chase's point, had Portia just said, I did it down to the thing and it is what it is, it wouldn't have been that long or that much of a story, essentially. So I was just a little confused because Teresa's known for a good little piece of tea. So, but when it comes to her, it's I
have a quick question, y'all. Do you think sometimes they do that purposely for the show where they know they could just shut it down, leave it alone, but instead, like even with Polo and Portia and Teresa and Louis and Marge, like do you feel like they just sometimes just do it for the show because they know it's gonna help the show, help viewership, if that?
I don't think Teresa thinks like that, but I think that some other girls may think like that. I don't think Teresa thinks that far ahead. I think she's in the moment, and I think that I asked you to stop talking about it. Stop talking about it, and you don't want to stop talking about it. All right, well, we're gonna see what happens. You know what I'm saying? So I think that one thing about the Real Housewives of New Jersey, I must say, and it's probably the same rings true for all of the Real Housewives. Real Housewives of New Jersey has a case of six hypocrites, and it's basically which one do we like the best because all of them are hypocritical. If someone was to come from Marge and do what she's doing for Teresa, she would scream and cry bloody
Mm-hmm.
murder. She's done it in the past. So if you have been a victim of these things that you're saying to Teresa, then how do you expect anyone to have sympathy when you go through these things? Like that's what confuses me about this particular cast. They all do it to each other. You know those memes, the Spider-Man memes. That's the Real Housewives in New Jersey. Like what? You? No, you. It's like actually no, it's all of you guys, and it's
Right.
really annoying. And I honestly feel like I know people love this cast, honey, but somebody got to go. I was saying last season Jackie had to go. Somebody got to go. I can't take it
Jackie
no
don't
more.
need to go, but Tiki and his wife can. We don't need
She
y'all.
is thirsty. She's very thirsty, honey.
I
Do
was gonna say, what about Tracy? Like, do you guys feel like Tracy's a good addition or no? Because in this episode, she spoke out a little more. She was more like having something to say.
Um, Loan that Megan. I meant to say, Lord Jesus, what's her name? Tracy. She reminds me of Loan that Megan from Real Housewives of Orange County. Just like
Oh,
in
Megan
people's
King.
business, Megan King. Like I did not like Megan King because although she exposed
Brooke.
Vicky.
Brooks for doing something very bad and very horrible, I'm not advocating for Brooks. What I'm advocating for is girl, know your place, mind your business, and stay out the way. We don't know you. So when she was kicking up dust, and it's like, girl, we don't even know you. Like, why do you care? You get what I'm saying? And so I feel like Tracy and Tiki, they just seem too much. It's awkward. It's weird, and I'm sure she wouldn't like someone to dig up Tiki's ex-wife and bring her on the show. So
Listen,
like, what? Like, let's be authentic in who we are instead of performing. I feel like she's a performer. That's what I think.
right.
Yeah. And I also feel like too, currently when new additions come on the show or when new cities are
Bless it.
being brought back, um they're very performative because they've watched the seasons and they feel like they have to be a certain personality, especially for social media, the likes for them to launch their business and to get money, other revenue in. Like, I feel like a lot of them come in super performative and not authentic.
Well, while we're on the topic of Jersey, and then I want to bring this up, Ricky, and I'm going to let you say what you're going to say. I apologize. But I did want to put out there whose team is everyone on? Are you on Team Gorga or Team Judice? Are you on Teresa's team? Or are you on Melissa and Joe's team? Basically, both sides are really accusing each other of not supporting one another, not having each other's backs. And whose side are you on? Ricky, say what you were going to say because I hate to cut off a queen. And then please, you guys, weigh in on that.
Well, what I say was already summed up by you guys pretty well. I will say I'm team neither. I
mm-hmm.
see fault on both sides. I think they're both. I don't want. I don't know if it's. I love Teresa, and it gets in the way of me holding her accountable. I think if I had to measure who did what more, I might lean more towards Melissa and Joe if I had to choose. But I think they're equally disloyal. I think they're equally inconsiderate to each other. I think they're equally just messy when it comes to how you treat your family. I might not see it from my family, but I ain't about to get on TV and cut you down. I ain't going on, it's just certain things that I wouldn't do. But also, I definitely understand that lines were crossed there, and sometimes blood ain't enough to keep it there to maintain relationships. So
Yeah.
neither.
I like that, Ricky. Especially when you said like they both have done things, and I think that that's the thing that I have. It's either we're going to wipe the slate clean. We're not going to bring up the past anymore. We're going to start from this day and move forward and have whatever these family laws that we have for each other and start from this. Or we could just coexist with each other, right? Like again, I'm not in their family dynamics, so I don't know how it is, but I can imagine that it's very exhausting. Like I understand, I'm married to your brother, and yes, I want to be liked and respected by the family, but I'm not gonna kiss your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like there's a lot of those expectations set on both sides, right? Like you got to do it for me, I got to do it for you, but nobody's really doing it for either of them. Like they're all, like you said, pointing the fingers at each other. This person is doing it today, but then somebody else is doing it tomorrow. So that's why I say either be like, listen, we don't mess with each other, we won't get down with each other like that, but I'm not gonna, you know what I mean, intentionally try to harm you, or we just gonna wipe the slate clean and start from the day. And move on and leave everything else in the past. But I'm actually tired of the feud. It's really taken over what I feel like could be a great Jersey season if you talk about other stuff other than their feud, because it always comes back to them.
Right. And one thing I really noticed is that both sides is looking for the other to bow down and be like, it's me, I'm at fault, versus just saying, hey, we're both wrong. Two things can be true at the same time. Let's just put all behind us and move forward for the benefit of the kids. Now the kids are getting involved and they're older now. They're going to have opinions. And it's like, now that they're older, talking back to an elderly adult that's your aunt or your uncle, it's a gray area. And I just feel like instead of looking for that bow down, just be like, it is what it is. This happened, and we now have to support each other, especially because their parents have passed and all of that. So I just really honestly think Joe and Teresa need to just hug it out, eat some pasta, and move on.
Listen, I hear everybody. I actually rock with everything that y'all have been saying, but if I am going to choose, and I am going to choose whose side I'm on Teresa's side. Let me tell you something, okay? Yeah, Teresa has accused the lady of being a stripper and all that stuff and been pretty mean to her and all of those things, and I get it, blah, 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 blah. But whether we go back 10 years ago or whether we talk about what's happening this season, if we talk about what's happening this season, Melissa proves she's untrustworthy. Teresa sends her a private text. Melissa didn't even freaking respond to the text. Melissa went and read the text in front of a bunch of bitches Teresa don't like. Like,
I mean, she did say she was telling them the text message so that they wouldn't speak about Louis, but
on camera.
Speaking of Louis, Chase is tingling was right. We do have the video. Let's cut to it really quickly.
You guys.
To see you, to get engaged and bring our family together and finally get married and have a life together. I've been here for a week. These are my brothers. These are my bond. These are my brothers. This is my coach, Kevin. These are guys that are very unfamiliar in my life. I love you, and I love our family together. I love our children, and I hope you receive this message well. Thank you. I love you. Thank you for your time. I hope that this hits your heart well and you understand where I'm coming from, and I hope to come home to you and be able to have a chance and opportunity to talk to you and share with you my experience in my life.
You gotta talk from the heart. You go back to your fucking brain. She doesn't want to fucking hear your brain.
I love you. I'm sorry I made mistakes and held myself back and held my truth inside.
You better fucking
and
feel
worried
her pain.
worried about other people around me.
Feel her
acknowledgement.
Pain.
I feel your pain. I'm sorry I put you through pain. Thank you for being patient with me and seeing the man that I didn't see that you see and you saw in me.
What are you gonna do about it?
I'm going to fix this. I'm going to come home and show you and prove to you the man, the best version of myself that I am right now.
She heard that before. What are you going to do?
I'm going to take action as soon as I get home.
You're saying beautiful words. What are you going to do?
I'm going to propose to you and get married, if that's okay with you. I love you.
Ooh, that video looks. Ooh, it just stank.
It's the people in the back for me. Their facial expressions, they
like
laughing.
Men's retreat. Like I have no idea what's going on there, but it was very weird, very uncomfortable. made me very uncomfortable.
It was given bath with no soap. Nasty, just funky, just
Oh.
dirty. Um, but let me say this, and then we're gonna get to that, and then we're gonna move forward. I just wanted to say though, this season they're doing that, and then if you look back 10 years ago, before Melissa and Joe even got on the show, they were messaging Danielle Staub of all people back then, and this is when Teresa was chasing Danielle through restaurants and flipping tables on her, giving her tea about Teresa. Then they get on the show behind the girl back and don't say nothing. Then they show out down to the christening. So it's things that they have done too that they do not acknowledge that they have done to contribute to why that lady does not trust them. To be honest with you, if you guys saw the way that Teresa cut Kathy, Smelly Catfish, and her husband out of their life, the Wakilis, that's the name. Ooh, I call her Lady Catfish, but he said he said it tastes like fish when he did it, when he would go down there. Anyway, the Wakilis, he did say that, Ricky, y'all look it up. Anyway, so the Wakili, she cut her cousins out of her life, and I'm very sure if it was not for this show, she would have absolutely nothing to do with Joe and Melissa. Most definitely Melissa, maybe surface level with Joe, but she does not want anything to do with these people. And I can't blame her because they are not. It's easy to point the blame at Teresa because she does everything out in the open, kind of. They're very sneaky, and that's what I don't like about them. I don't like them at all. With that being said, we're going to move right along with our bombastic review, darling. That's the Supremes. Look it up, bombastic review. We're going to move right along with our bombastic review of one of the reboots that Katie alluded to earlier, which is the Real Housewives of Miami, and they have
Hold
become.
on, real quick before we move on to that, I do want to get into the Jennifer and Melissa fight from this.
Girl, I forgot all about them people, child. Oh Lord, I'm so sorry. I just, listen.
Look, he said we read it. We finished talking about Jersey.
I
But
was over.
Yes,
I'm
we're
over
not even
Jersey.
gonna
I must
see
admit.
those girls.
But let's slow down. Let's pump the brakes.
let's
Pump the brakes.
put it in
And
reverse.
let's talk about this fight. Yes. So Melissa and Jen have been going at it for years on end, and a lot of pointing the fingers of who started what and who started what. But tonight, or excuse me, last night, we actually saw um, Melissa Gorga get up out of her seat and charge towards Jen, to which Jen grabbed Melissa, and a shoving match or a fisticuffs battle ensued. Who do you ladies take? Whose side do you ladies take?
The side of all the Black housewives.
Well, okay. That's it. Listen, for this one, I would have to be Team Jennifer. Like I said, I like Jennifer. Listen, I thought she
I love
looked
Jennifer.
very good. Her hair was looking good. I'm like, look, yes, girl, I like this little wash and go little look you got going on. But yeah, I mean, Team Jennifer. I mean, I didn't think that it was okay for Melissa to get up out of her seat, do whatever it was that she was attempting to do. But listen, I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, they was holding on to each other's wrists. I don't really think that it was as hoopla. As much of a hoopla as they made it out to be. Like, okay, apologize and move on. Like, we're not gonna talk about this the whole season either.
It seems like Melissa really wants a big moment. She wants to do her big one. Wasn't she just throwing cheese down to the thing? Girl, sit down. Stop charging people. Like, what are you doing? What are we doing? Literally.
She was trying to tango with Jen. That's what she was trying to
She
Jennifer was
almost,
like, look, girl, if you want to do it, we can do it.
she almost got that ass folded up down to the Jersey, bitch. I live, honey. I love Jennifer so much. I do.
My thing is, if you're gonna get up and come at me, you better do something.
Mhm.
Don't try to dance.
At least
Like,
keep
what is that?
it like Cynthia did, child.
Well, listen.
Cynthia did kick, so I will.
She had no choice. Portia was straddling her, and I would have kicked her.
I will give Cynthia that, but don't say, and then don't do.
Portia Fury Williams, child. But,
and where was Bill? Bill had me laughing the whole night.
I love Bill because Bill mind his business. Bill don't be in women's business. Bill
And
is
I
not
like
a little
that.
bitch. Bill is not a little bitch girl. What is she calling him?
a bitch boy.
Yes.
What she say? Bill is not one of them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say an old Southern, Southern colloquialism for how Melissa came. We always say when we get into a fight, I don't know if you guys have ever heard this, because I don't believe any of you guys are from the South, but they say All right, don't come like no cabbage, right? I mean, don't come and you ain't doing nothing. Don't come like no vegetable. You come over here, you coming up on me, you better make sure you run up on me and do something. There's another one we like to say, don't come like no cabbage. We also like to say, don't be all head and no ass, aka all that mouth, make sure you bring that ass with you because you're gonna get it whooped. So all that mouth that Melissa was doing and got folded up karate style down to Miss Thang house, please stop charging people. Please get your
Wait,
husband and tell him to stay.
say him
Mhm.
again. So I know. So I just want to make sure I got him clear.
About a
So,
cabbage.
so the first one is don't come like no cabbage. You know, when people like are in a vegetable state or vegetable state, we say don't come like a cabbage. Don't. All right, we argue on the phone, and you make sure you tell her don't come like no cabbage neither. I mean,
I'm
you
gonna
make
use
you,
that
you
one.
gonna come, you better make sure you come, girl, because I got something for you. And you make sure when she come, you tell her don't be all head no ass, aka all that mouth, all this head you got. Make sure you bring the whole body with you because you're going to get what done up. You know what I'm saying? So you run up. Sometimes you end up getting done up, Miss Thing, and Melissa found that out. And Jen cleared them people
But
twice, and I lived.
I'll also say this. This is the second time, maybe 18th time, Melissa's looking like a punk. Because when Dolores came at her, she did nothing. Okay? When that wine glass was thrown at her, she did nothing. Like, I'm tired of, and now you buck and you don't do nothing.
But when that wine, oh no, that's when the
So
girl.
remember they were at the table on the beach and
Yeah, what she did with Jennifer, she ran over there and
did not,
that was the end of it. It was
all
just
head and no butt.
right. It was just nothing. But that's a little hard. I mean,
She
listen,
came like a cabbage. She sure did.
tried it. You know.
Not
Rolling
bless her
down,
heart.
rolling down like a VeggieTale, honey. Just rolling down up on the
I'm
people.
dead, y'all.
Who you think would actually win in a fight though if they actually did fight? Jen or Melissa?
I don't know.
Oh, I definitely Jen. And then I mean, she got all that animal. You know what I mean? Like she's got that built up tension. They done bought this. You know, her husband was cheating on her. Listen, it's all over the TV. He can't hide no more. Like she pissed about that, so she would have took all that out on her.
All you gotta do is punch Melissa in that fake nose.
Well,
How do
Jen
y'all
did
feel
get her
about?
nose done.
How do you guys feel about the rumors resurfacing about her husband? Do you feel like she needs to answer to it?
I
Yes,
wouldn't.
yes. I think when stuff happens behind closed doors and you've moved past them, like we said earlier, the best thing to do is get ahead of it. Like when she said she wasn't a receptionist, she was a pharmaceutical rep. Like, come with the facts or leave me alone, you know? And when you are no longer bothered by something that bothered you a lot, or even if you have to pretend you're winning, you know, you're still winning because look, Marge will drag it till probably next season and find a way to justify her being in an affair. Like we all said before, just get ahead of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that she needs to answer for it, but I definitely think that she needs to deal with it because she hasn't. If she had, she wouldn't be this upset and crying about it like she is. See, I don't think that she's ever dealt with it. She found out this man was cheating. She swept it on under the rug because we have to remember that she was 8 months pregnant during this time too. So she just swept it under the rug. Again, they didn't want it to get out there. They didn't want nobody to know because he's Big Bill and he, you know what I mean? He's this good guy. Can't nobody know that he done did this bad thing. We got to keep our, you know, family name clean. And so she's never dealt with it. And that's just what it was. It was under the rug. Nobody knew until somebody knew and brought it up. And now she's crying all over the place because she never dealt with that. And I do feel like some of her anger is misplaced. You do need to deal with your husband because you are clearly still upset about the things that he's done. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't think she owes the girls anything, but look, heal and deal with it with you and your husband.
Outside of her doing that nominated by Bravo Emmy award-winning crime she's been doing, Lord Jesus. I think that she's handled it as much or as truthfully and as honest as possible. I don't think that if any of the other ladies brought it up and it was brought up to them, they would deal with it in the way that she's dealt with it. I like her because, you know, like it or not, she is one of the more truthful and forthcoming housewives across all cities, and so that's why I like her. And so yeah, but she don't owe them hoes nothing, and I would give them desert dust.
Well, let's get into the get into. I feel Puerto
Miami.
Rican in this here. Rican. Let's get
I'm
it.
not doing that. But these are my girls right here. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I love them. I love the reboot. I actually shitted on them quite a bit with Wellington, so I'm not going to apologize. Wellington, that's what you get. You don't get anything else. But I do like them, and I'm glad they're back. The Real Housewives of Miami and Adriana.
Mm.
Not Adriana.
But before we get into it, since we're on Adriana, I honestly say keep her as a friend because she's bringing it more as a friend, and same for Marisol. And make Kiki a housewife if she's engaged or got a partner or whatever the case might be, because Kiki's a good friend of. But I feel like the girls came to work because they weren't signed on as full-time housewives, and I feel like Adriana, she needed the camera because like she likes to be the center of attention, and I felt like she worked better as a friend of.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
she
think she
she
was working like that. I'm sorry, Kay, but I think she was working like that because allegedly she's homeless. Go ahead, Kay.
Oh, shit.
Trey said she had to earn them
Ale-
checks on it.
Almost.
Larsa said it. I didn't say it. Larsa said it.
I
True. Larsa said she
agree.
had to earn them checks. That's why she was doing all that. Like I definitely felt like she came on like very strong. It's like, girl, like everybody is like relaxed and chill, and like you are just on you're just on like 100 all the time. Like bring it down. But I will say, like, like the cast. I think that this is also a well put together cast. I would like to see everybody come back. In what capacity they come back in, totally up to the network. But I do like this group. I think that everybody played a part in the season. It wasn't like somebody didn't show up. Like I feel like everybody did. I don't like that they cut out, Kiki's confessionals because she was looking hot and banging in those pictures, and I really wish that they would have gave her a fair chance, kind of like they did homegirl from Potomac. But hey.
Well, what Kiki
Speaking,
was going to talk about? I'm sorry, but what was Kiki going to talk about in her confessional dick? Go ahead, right, Katie. Excuse me, Ricky. I apologize. I love Kiki though, and I love her down. Bring her back, but
But they
I'm
could
sure
have
it's
asked
much
her
more
about
to
some of the
Kiki.
drama that was going on and what her take was.
Oh my god! Oh my
Yeah.
god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
would you guys, so if you had a wedding planned, your wedding is planned, everything's paid for, everything's booked, hotels, people are here, and a family member passed away the day of your wedding, would you still get married? I would like to answer this first by saying yes, I would still get married. If my family member passed away, the funeral ain't gonna be that day, child. I'm gonna go ahead and get married. I wouldn't reschedule or cancel my wedding if everything was paid for and it was the day of. Now, if it was maybe a couple weeks before or whatever the case may be, then we probably figure something out. But if it was the day before, chat, we just go. I don't know if you're crying for me or you crying for the family member, but I don't know.
I think it would depend on your emotional state. So it sounds like you would be in a headspace to be able to do that. Some people may not be in a headspace to be able to get married and then, go to a funeral. So I definitely think that it just really depends on, what I mean, the person and what they decide to do. I don't see a right or a wrong way. But I just see that, it just really depends on the person. Personally, if I was in her situation where it was my mother, I don't think that I would be in the headspace to be able to get married. But I hear what you're saying because it's like paid all this money, now I done lost all this money. So I totally understand that. And like you said, people probably have bought flights to come to the wedding. I would just have to hope that the airlines get these people back their money. But yeah, now if it was a aunt or somebody like that, yeah, hell yeah, I'm still getting married, and I'm gonna show up at the funeral with my black on.
Right. I'm gonna say I would definitely not have my wedding. I've been in Alexia's shoes, and losing a parent is very difficult. And the state of mind you're in that day, I don't think you would want to share one of the best, happiest days of your life, knowing that in the back of your head, the one person that you're completely attached to on this planet. Your mother is now gone. I don't think those emotions are definitely something you could ignore. Um, and not that I'm counting her coins, but she has money, and rescheduling for a much happier day and making it all about her that day and being in a different headspace and not claiming that day as the same day as her mom dying and separating the dates. I think it goes deeper down for her. And I would definitely not have my wedding the same day as a parent passes. But if it was like an extended family member, or if it's not someone I'm super close to, yes, I would probably go ahead, but not someone that's that close to you for sure. And I'm kind of happy she didn't because, you know, she's been through a lot, and I feel like she needed to get those tears out and have her moment, have her day, and be completely in lust and love with her husband, Todd.
If my situation is Alexia's situation, if the queen go down, everything shuts down, honey. I'm sorry. I'm not. My mama, I don't play it. My mama, not my mama. Can't do it. I'm gonna cry now. I can't do it. Let's talk about I can't go ahead.
Moving right along. We don't want to. I don't want to get to thinking about people. Mama is them. I just said a family member, not the mom.
I understand. No, I was put myself in the situation of
It's
Alexia.
completely different when it's a parent. So I don't disagree with her choice at all.
That makes total sense. We are sending our love and our condolences and our prayers to her and her mammy, and we hope she's doing well. We look forward to.
I'm a fan of you, Chase.
Yeah,
thank you.
And can I also say, Alexia, I don't know if she needs to go to a cleansing or something, but she goes through a lot. Like, she goes through a lot. I don't know what it is, but she's always being challenged. And I don't know. There's a dark cloud.
Not a hex child.
I don't know. I feel like ever since I've been watching Miami from the very beginning it aired, she's always going through something. And even Marisol, her best friend, said it over and over again this season. Like, she's always going through something. And it's like, how much stronger can a person be? Like, I really wish the best for her because she's
cast members. As they would say, as Chase would say, the old Southern folks, let's get a prayer circle going for her and send her a bunch of prayers, y'all. Everybody, let's take a moment of silence and pray for her and her family. I'm being really serious.
I think that moment's over.
The moment's done.
Chase is making me laugh. I cannot.
I mean, I kind of feel Chase. I'm like, I mean, what has happened to her that other people haven't gone through? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think like she's an exception to the rule of bad things happening to you.
I don't think it's that.
She down there with the witches in them.
It's just like people go through bad things, but it's consistent with her. It's like every season she's on is something. Her ex-husband dying, her son getting in a car accident, her mama dying. Like, it's like, whew.
Well, I know, but break.
It's a lot.
I would like to move on from this death.
Yeah.
I want to get into
stop making me laugh.
I want to get into the world and the streets and hot topics, honey.
Oh, Lord.
Hot of the topics, we got Chase crime, we got prayer circles, we got all things going on.
I know my mama.
Nah, Chase's facial expressions. Oh my gosh.
The girls have dropped. The girls have dropped. The girls have dropped. Not Drew. What do we think about the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14 cast? What are we thinking about the newbies, about the old bees? What are we thinking?
I'm kind of biased because Sonia Richard Ross is Jamaican and I'm Jamaican, so I'm team her. We know we're not here for Drew. And Sheree being back, exciting. Marlo getting her peach, exciting. Kenya, heart her. Candy, yay.
Not Candy, yay.
I'm dead.
I feel like it's a good cast. Like I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, what happens, who clicks with who now that certain people are not in the picture. Because I feel like sometimes when your bestie leave the show, like you gotta, you know what I mean, click with somebody else real hard. So I'm looking forward to kind of seeing what those dynamics are. I know nobody likes Drew. I actually like Drew. I don't have a problem with Drew. Listen, anybody that can come and
You like Candace too, right?
I absolutely do love me some Candace.
Oh,
yes,
Lord.
I do. I know nobody likes anybody that I like. That's fine, because I don't like some of the people that y'all like. But you know, I love y'all still. But I mean, for me personally, like I said, I mean, I'm looking forward to everything. Like I don't really. I mean, Candy is there, and that's cool. Like I'm looking more probably for her on her own show than this show. But yeah, I think it's gonna be cool. Like Marlo got her peach. Like we're gonna see what she gonna do with it. Is she gonna get a second year peach? Sheree came with some fashions, I heard, and yeah.
Um, I don't have any expectations. Um, I don't have any expectations. I don't. I'm going to go in and give everybody a clean slate, other than Drew. She's not going to get anything from me. And hopefully we'll be entertained. That's what I wanted. It's an entertaining season. This past season wasn't really good at all, by Atlanta standards, that is. And I think, hopefully this is enough to get the ball rolling. I think this season is going to be revolutionary, but not for what we think it will be revolutionary for, like how we think it. Well, not we think, but people think that a new cast means like explosiveness. I don't think that it's going to do that, but I feel like it could be like a season 8 reset where it gets the ball rolling for an amazing season to come.
Yeah.
So this season, I'm kind of like chilling, and I expect season 15 to really bring that dynamic together and be amazing like season 9 was after season 8. So I'm open minded, but I'm not here for Drew, and that's never going to change. And I don't care who watches this and sees this and tells her I don't like you, and that's that.
That's all
I don't
right.
like you on the
Angel
show.
likes to collect her check.
Listen, you do need my likes, because let me tell you one thing about the likes, honey. You don't have the likes and you don't have the views, you end up like Salt Lake City, honey, with the ratings blues. And you better hope somebody like you around now.
Right. Um, with that said, I'm excited to see Marlo carry, to see if Marlo has the ability to carry. I'm excited to see Marlo outside of just being shady and messy, and Marlo, and get to see her family life and her day to day. I think I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see how they carry without Anita and a Portia, who always seem to be the center of controversy. The We'll see. Um, what else? That's pretty much it. I don't see it for Drew within the context of the show. I wish they would have kept Latoya. I think she was a lot more entertaining for me than Drew when they first came about. Cynthia is not here, so I'm interested to see who's going to fall into that role on the show. And that's pretty much it. Who you feel like gonna be the center peach? Candy?
Candy or Kenya?
Yeah, I'm
Kenya, I
say.
think, make it the center.
I mean, it's only right. It's only right if it's Candy or Kenya. I mean, what are you gonna do? Give it to one of the new girls?
Right.
Sheree
Has Kenya
can't have
been the
it.
center? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, has Kenya been the centerpiece before?
No,
Not
she
that I
went
recall.
She had the
I don't
eyes
remember either, so I feel like they
missing
should give it to her.
the T. Okay.
I don't know about all that, but I know that she was definitely driving the center of that show for quite a few years. So there were quite a few
Very
years
true.
that she could have gotten it. And, listen, that is what that is, but
To
we'll
answer your
see.
question, she's never gotten the center peach. She's
Well,
never.
I think that she deserves it if they never gave it to her. Because I mean, I don't see why she
Absolutely.
hasn't.
I think she deserves it too. Now that the queen bees and the princess bees are
Right.
gone, I think
Yeah.
she definitely is next in line. She's definitely third in line to the throne.
Wrong road, Ricky. Wrong road. Wrong road, Ricky.
I'm just saying,
Wrong
with
road.
Portia gone and Nene gone,
Wrong road,
You know how
Ricky.
they have first runner up and second runner up.
She
Not
knows she not
bronze
gonna pass.
medal. Not bronze medal. I'm not here
The
for it.
bronze peach, okay?
Bronze.
I
I'm
will
just so glad that narcissist and that
say,
that liar are gone. I
So
just
Kenya's not a narcissist as well.
you
And
know
not a
what?
lot.
Kenya and Nene are two sides of the same coin.
what has she lied about?
One
That
is
wasn't her
heads and one is
business.
tails.
Her husband. But let's
What about it?
let's move on to another
Let's
topic.
move on. Let's move
Wrong
on.
road.
So we can,
Wrong
so we can
road.
all agree Candy's the safe bet.
Mm.
Candy probably gonna be center peach.
Right,
Mm.
but
Do she
I
deserve
hear
it?
I hope this her last season.
a little birdie told the reality rundown that um this new season of Real Housewives of Atlanta will be explosive, and to expect some surprise conflicts between people that you didn't think would get into it, and things of that nature, and that this season will be better than what we saw last season, and that they were really happy about Sheree coming back to be Sheree and performing. So there's
Wouldn't
that.
take much to be better than last season, though.
Right. Let's move right along.
With our bombastic review.
Yeah.
I gotta hear that now when I get on.
It's a song that's like Mr. Bombastic. I feel like
Yes, that Shaggy used to sing.
yeah.
Well, you know,
Lover.
let's move on over to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Word on the street is that Miss Kathy Hilton allegedly called Sutton's assistant the F word. Apparently, Kathy had a meltdown because the ladies left her and went to dinner. And during the meltdown, she hurled not just words, but whatever she could get her hands on, allegedly. She even sent a cease and desist letter to Lisa Renner. What are y'all thoughts?
She did it.
I believe she did because I think Kathy just be saying all types of stuff.
That's really sad if she did in 2020.
She probably gonna be like, "Oh, something's wrong with that." Like I feel like she gonna try to play that card.
Something wrong with
Absolutely.
the F word. You know, one thing about Andy Cohen, child, he don't be seeing it for the slurs and for the, he kind of called people to the carpet for that now.
Absolutely.
Do you think that it's something? I think she should be reprimanded for that. I think that's really nasty. And if they caught it on camera, I wonder if they're going to show it.
Right. And,
Saving these girls.
you know, it's very low class, might I add. Very low class of her to do that. Tacky, nasty. And I hope if, the assistant, obviously probably knows that he or she has gotten an apology from Kathy directly, because we should not be hearing any type of words like that at all. At all. Unacceptable.
Well, people had the right assistants at the right time, because if I was the assistant,
Jackpot.
that's all I'll say. If she said it, I was a big advocate for Kathy Hilton. I rolled for her. When the girls didn't see it for her, I was the first one on the bandwagon. And believe you me, I'll be the first one to hop off. I don't like her sister Kyle, and I like Kim. She's all right. And I love Kathy, but listen, you can't say those things. And I understand that she is in a privileged world, and she's a privileged girl. She is the epitome and essence of the material girl, honey. And but you're in real life and you have to deal with real life situations. And so when you say those things have to have consequences, not only for regular folk like us, but for important people like you too. So hopefully it is dealt with, it is addressed, and she is held accountable for what she said. Um, but yeah, whatever. I don't think she's gonna learn nothing from it. So.
Yeah. Well, looking forward to seeing it.
And
Not me.
I don't know what that cast has to bring for next season, because they really been on the internet and using their Twitter fingers and talking this and that. So I really hope that it's going to be the season that they are hyping it up to be.
Can I just say this too? I don't expect much from Beverly Hills because it's a lot of pretentious behavior consistently. So I don't expect like jaw dropping, trilling moments anymore from them. I feel like we're long past getting those reactions.
Right. Well, moving right along, we have some hot topic that's not really Bravo hot topics, but has been swirling around the internet for the past few weeks. When it all falls down, honey, Kim Ye are not Kim Ye anymore. I know Kim Kardashian has been working overtime to ask the courts to release her from her marriage duties to Kanye West, and they have granted that to her. So while they are still fighting, or I don't want to say fighting, or still working out assets and things that happen when you get divorced legally, she is no longer married to Kanye West. Also, Kanye West has hired lawyer Samantha Spector, who also represented Nicole Young in her divorce with Dr. Dre, where she was able to secure $100 million for her. She is now Kanye West's lawyer as him and uh, Kim prepare to go to court over their assets. I think as much as I want to stand up for the good brother, and as much as I don't always see it for Kim, I think what Kanye has done to her publicly and privately is abusive. I think it's emotionally abusive. He's harassed her, he's stalked her, and if had he not, banged out, hit records and is this fashion icon and
Oh, I didn't know where you were going with that.
creative
Like,
genius, I think that it's really scary behavior. But because he's a celebrity and people like Kanye, then he gets a pass. But a lot of the things that he's done to Kim is just very narcissistic and emotionally abusive. Thoughts?
I mean, I agree. Listen, I mean, yeah, I would not want to be in either of their shoes, really. Like, I feel like it's probably hard on both their sides, but definitely, listen, when somebody don't want you, like, just be okay with that. Like, I don't think that, stalking them and constantly, putting them on blast and, one minute you cussing them out, the next minute you love them and want them back, like that's not gonna get you them back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it was sad to see, you know what I mean, that that's how it ended and that it could not end in a friendlier manner. And I don't think that this is like the end of the road, like, because they still have to co-parent, right? They have 4 kids. They still have a long time to be in each other's lives. So I definitely hope that they figure it out sooner rather than later, because it's going to make it best for everybody if they do.
Right. And, I'm surprised this wasn't like already mapped out, before they even got married. Like, maybe I'm going to have to look into finding out if they had a prenup or not
They did.
prior, because I'm not understanding why so many things, even after marriage, wasn't even discussed in that prenup. Uh, but this is tough because they do have young children. But the stalking, the consistent embarrassment, I feel like that's something she's not with, because he said a lot of things. And, we can't really speak too much on what she's done because we haven't seen anything publicly aside from her, whatever he showed in text from what she said. But I really want him to move on gracefully because it's getting out of control now. And as a black man, you don't want to keep on looking like a lunatic in front of the world. And that's what it's given. And on top of that, too, sometimes it's okay not to be with who you thought you were going to spend forever with. And people change. Mm-hmm. And it's okay to move on, but you can't move on yourself and then want her to be at home crying over you. That's not how it works, Mm-hmm. That's not how it works. You can't be prancing around here, the world, with various women and then cry and tell her to come back to you at the same time. It's unfair. It's nasty. And I hope they do figure it out sooner than later, because them babies are gonna read about this one day, and they have enough to read about. Okay,
definitely gonna be in the media textbooks in college. They're gonna be talking about this case.
Yeah, you have to think about those things because childhood trauma is something a lot of people struggle with throughout their entire life. And we watched his documentary and see how many things from even those moments with his mom, how he carries out certain actions today. And it's just like he needs to think about his children and make sure they're protected at all costs.
My
I
thoughts and
agree.
prayers are with the children, and that's all I have. I really don't follow it closely because I find it to be just a bit disturbing. And so, hopefully for the sake of their children, they can come to some sort of amicable agreement and move forward with their lives. And I know that that takes, people to be adults, to be willing participants in amicable agreements and those type of things. So hopefully someone somewhere can talk to all parties involved, have them take a step back and look at the bigger picture and they fix it because I'm tired of the shit.
Correct. Moving right along to the Real Housewives of Potomac girlies. This just in, real quick. Candace Dillard Bassett tweeted out, "When one door closes, another one opens." So I know it's been a lot of kerfuffle about people wanting the girlie off the show, and so we have to wait and see. But the good sisters,
Chase. Chase is dancing. Chase is dancing, y'all. I'll say this: if the door is hitting her on the way out,
don't let the door hit you with a good Lord split you. Now, as much as I don't like Candy Girl, I don't know if I wanted her off the show,
That
but
show's gonna struggle.
yeah,
you
I think,
think?
yeah, I think she makes for great TV. I think she's controversial. I think it gives the girls something to talk about. I know they want the girl off, but I don't like Candace. I don't like Candace, but I like Candace on TV.
Mm,
She's good for
I-
TV.
I'll say this:
I'm
good
fan of
riddance.
UK.
I'll say because I know Kay's gonna go off, but I'll say this: good riddance in the fact of she needs a
Allegedly,
break.
we don't know, but allegedly.
Well, allegedly, if she's off the show, good riddance because she needs a break. If she needs to take like 2 seasons off, 1 season off, and then come back fresh, because I feel like after this season, especially, a lot went on with her. Too much, I would say. And sometimes you need a mental break from all of it. She's not my favorite, but I can say she did go through a lot. And you need to step back sometimes, and that is okay. Come back refresh, be funny, be nice, something
Take Wendy with you.
other than what
I
we
just don't
witnessed.
think it's fair because she got to pay for that house. So I don't.
Oh my God! You see, I was trying to say something nice, and here
My mama paying for that
She
house.
ain't
My
gotta
mama
pay for
got it.
that house. She can call her
Dorothy
mama.
paying for it. Dorothy got it.
I'm about to
Dorothy
say
got
she
that.
gonna be fine. She
Dorothy
ain't gonna
do
be living
have.
on the streets. That's for
Big
sure.
dot.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
Come on,
if
Kay.
that's what it is, that's what it is. I mean, I agree with Kate, Katie, and like, listen, maybe it's not a forever thing. You take a break, you come back, and that's what it is. Listen, they the extra rater come back multiple times when they had to get these ratings, back in line. They may do the same thing with her. Like I said, I'm not gonna hold anybody, to a show. I love Candace. I like her on the show, but listen, if they ain't here for it, they ain't here for it. Like, I'm not gonna get mad about that. Like, I mean, they
Come on
it
home
is
to
what it is.
mama and let me give you a hug. Cause
I
I
ain't mad at
know
it,
your
but
feelings are
moving right
hurt
along.
right
Let's get
now.
into something
Uh,
because
Oh, help
Chase
them,
is gonna
Lord.
go off,
Come
y'all.
on
He more
home
touched
to
than I
mama.
am.
This is
No,
damn
I'm
near
giving you a
best
hug. That was
I
for
know
you.
you
I
are,
just
but
year.
I'm not even sad.
Since
she
we
gonna
talking
probably get off
about
camera.
people who need to be off the show, get into it, Katie.
Yes, let's get into it because Giselle Bryant and Robin Dixon on their podcast, Reasonably Shady, or is it Reasonably Out of Pocket? Giselle and Robin of Real Housewives of Potomac had some interesting things to say about NBA superstar James Harden. Let's hear it.
James Harden. Yes, going from the Nets to the Sixers.
But do the Sixers really know that's James Harden? Because no one can see his face. Because that beard is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. The other day, I was like, who is this dude? Oh, this is Harden. But how would you know? That beard is like down to his knees. There's fried chicken in the beard.
You know what? It's so bad. I'm so used to it. I don't even notice it anymore.
I want, but like that beard look is gone. Are we done with that?
I don't think so.
Listen, his is
Clearly
horrible.
not. Yeah. He clearly loves his beard.
He does. I want it to be gone.
I just hope it's sanitary. You know?
Anytime I see them, I automatically know and feel in my gut that there's fried chicken in those beards. Fried chicken, grease.
Watermelon. Now
There's
you
some,
being racist.
there's some Coke 45 in there. Oh,
No,
watermelon.
now you being
Nah, I'm
racist.
being real racist. Okay, this is horrible. Let me just stop while I'm ahead.
Coke
But
45.
James Harden, I beg
Some
of you.
blunts. Definitely some blunts.
It's some
in there.
blunts.
Some
Oh,
ashes.
it's the whole thing smells like weed. I know it does. Okay, I don't even know if he smokes weed. We're really sorry. Harden, cut the thing off.
Yikes.
Those y'all queens.
Get them heifers off of my screen, honey.
The Green Eye Bandit is allegedly racist.
Well, you know, she think I always said, you know, she thinks she Jane Toussaint. She think this is school day. She thinks she is G5G. That's what we want to be. No. You are not that girl. This is not 88. Let it go, honey. Let it go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care for Robin or Giselle, which is why I have never listened to their podcast. So I'm really, not surprised. I mean, hopefully, they hear people and they go back and they apologize. Like I think that they don't. I don't think that they think that anything that they say was wrong. Like how sometimes they probably like, well, we're black, we can say it, right? Like I feel like that's like the attitude that they probably had when they were saying those things. But listen, like we still can't stereotype people. Like I feel like that's what they were doing. Like especially we're talking about the fried chicken and the watermelon. Like people use that as a stereotype for black people, and you're just what I mean, feeding into that, and that's just not a good look. So I mean, listen. They'll apologize and then we'll forget about it and move on to whatever comes next.
Wendy's gonna get you. You think Wendy's not gonna use that? Oh my God.
It's just giving real tacky because this is not the first time racial things are coming out of their mouths. It's whack. Very whack. And that's the thing I hate about current day society and social media and all of it. The digital era is cancel culture does not exist. They're not going to get that much happening to them. It's like Kay said, it's just going to be a quick apology and moving forward. We barely see people really be punished anymore for when they do stuff like this. And they'll easily get a pass because they're allegedly black.
Well, isn't Robin like 1/10 black or something like that?
That's why
anyway, I don't want to get into it.
These girls are more than 50% YT. They are allegedly colorist. They are allegedly classist. They are allegedly all of the things. So to sit on your platform as two black women and say that this black man's beard is for the watermelon and chicken grease, weed smoke, and shucking and jobbing down to the juke joint.
And a Colt 45.
Colt 45, some malt liquor, child. I just...
We have had knockdown dragouts about whether colorism exists in Potomac. And
they went and did this.
Okay. And let's not forget the big boy comment. Let's not forget the big boy comment and who it came from. Let's not. And don't use your baby daddy about, not having nothing against dark-skinned black men. Let's not do it because we know you're going to pull that card.
All right. Well, listen, we had a lot going on in today's show. I want to give everybody an opportunity to. Do we have any last words before we close out the show? Yes, Chase.
I'm close.
All these hoes are disgusting. That's what I got. Go ahead.
All right. Listen, that. All right. That's the model for today's show. Listen, this is the reality right after YouTube show. Make sure that you follow us on all social media platforms. Hit that subscribe button. Listen, we bring you the latest headlines, breaking news, exclusive, everything going on in the reality world. Make sure that you catch our podcast right after, no, not right after the show, but it will be on tomorrow. So if you missed the live show, you can catch the podcast because we want to be able to talk to you, okay? Make sure that you tell your friends about us, because listen, we're trying to move it on up. And that has been the reality right after. Bye, everyone.
Good night.